Hello guys, girls and everything else. This is going to be a really cool reaction. I'm going to dislike it already. Because I already knew that video, so I'm going to react to it because I'm an expert in both games and
Not a lot of games have taken off as quickly as Blizzard's new
react to it.
juggernaut, Overwatch. Only out for 2 months, it's already had itself
Yeah, Overwatch 2 was a failure. And so yeah, I've already seen Overwatch 2. So yeah, they already needed to make a sequel. And it caused a lot of trouble at this point.
10 million players and made literally hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. Everyone, and I mean everyone, seems to love Overwatch. They love its characters, its variety, its lore. When talking about class-based team shooter,
Yeah, lore of Overwatch is not as good as like Team Fortress lore, at least I think. I mean, there is like a bunch of wars and stuff like that, but I personally think that the little story I'm writing and also Team Fortress 2 have better lore than Overwatch.
you'd be hard-pressed to find a better one.
Oh,
Or
yeah, better. Let me just speed it up for your attention span by 25%.
would you? And no, we're not talking about Battleborn. Go home, Battleborn. You're drunk. No,
Yeah, Battleborn is not really all that good, I think. At least by their standard. Though I really enjoy like the Battleborn. Battleborn. That Battleborn Shroom guy. Yes. I really like the designs, you know. I actually made a Pathfinder 2nd edition race that will also be in D&D that is essentially Shroom people. So yeah. I'm gonna go back. They're actually like genetically engineered Shroom people that are essentially just shrooms that were mutated by an alien race, and now they're like living beings.
I'm talking about the hat-tastic granddaddy of the genre,
Hatstastic, yeah.
Team Fortress
Cool.
2. So can Overwatch overthrow this historic giant
No,
that is
and
TF2?
it didn't.
Or will enthusiasm for
Literally, like the moment we fixed and right now, even when people think that Team Fortress is dying, Team Fortress is better than it has ever been in terms of player numbers. Not counting bots, even. Everything is fixed, and we are getting a major update soon, at least that's what leaks say.
Overwatch be dead faster than Evolve? Yeah, there's a game you haven't thought about in a while.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen of the
I played it a lot. I just stopped recently because I decided that I'm bored with shooters as a whole for a moment, so I decided to just like uninstall it so my other games will run faster. That mostly because my RAM is horrible. I literally have 6 gigs of RAM, and I'm going to be buying some RAM soon.
internet. Welcome to Deadlock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's only polite to
Who is Todd? Who is Todd? Who is this Todd guy? Who is Todd? Seriously, who is that Todd guy? Who is... what? Who is that Todd guy? Is he like from Team Theorist? also.
Respect our elders, so Team Fortress 2, you go first.
Yeah,
Oh,
good
wow.
growth.
So gracious. Hopefully with this abundance of respect you apparently have, you can respect that I'm about to win this debate in one word. Free.
Yeah, Team Fortress is free, but it shouldn't really decide a game. Like, a lot of the features that you have, like trading and stuff like that, is locked behind a paywall of premium, but it's pretty cheap.
Team Fortress 2 is a free game
Just need
with
to buy
no
one
hidden
key.
fees. The complete version of Overwatch is
No hidden fees, literally there. You need to buy something. That costs at least like 99 euro cents. Like you probably will buy a key just to get premium at the start.
$60. Boom! Done. Shut it down. It's over. But in the interest of adding on some additional hurt, consider that Overwatch has microtransactions.
Team Fortress 2 is known for microtransactions. Literally, once again, keys. Keys. You will probably like buy a $2 key or $2.50, I think right now. $2.50 key, probably just to get access to the basic premium stuff.
On top of the $60 fee. And people say that Candy Crush is a bad time. At least that game is free to download.
Okay, sure. Overwatch is being sold as a complete game at
Wait, there are health bars, so it's not past channel, so he decides the health bars. So he probably can just cheat his way out of stuff to make himself look better.
full price, but that's because it is. Blizzard has said that players will get everything from here on out.
Team Fortress is also a full game, like. Also, both games are pretty full, but like, you know, right now Overwatch is actually not free. Like before, you need just to play, but right now you have a battle pass that you need to pay for to get stuff. And right now, all of the currency is premium. So yeah.
Out, including new maps and other updates, all for free.
Oh, wow! Updates? Oh, wait a minute. Team Fortress 2 updates multiple times a year with free content.
It doesn't update multiple times a year. It just throws in cosmetics, but you know. Since we got actual like update was Jungle Inferno. So I think it was like Jungle Inferno was like a few years before. Yeah, kind of ironic that around like when this debate ended, we just got Jungle Inferno. After that, there was like no major updates.
On top of the game being free, and it's been doing this for 9 years. The game was released in October of 2007. That is a lot of service for zero money down.
Upfront fees, upfront fees. I see you dancing around the subject. TF2 has microtransactions as well.
Yeah, well, no crap. Literally everyone bought at least one key just to get a cool loadout. Like pretty much everyone just spent, I don't know, like 9 times 250, so it's probably like just everyone just spent like $20 on Team Fortress or so.
Yeah, for hats, for new weapons, for general character customization. In TF2, you pay for what you want, and you get what you want when you pay for it. In Overwatch, the
We also have loot boxes for all the unusuals.
microtransactions give you a chance to maybe get
And yeah, everything is overpriced in Overwatch. That's what I
what you want. It's all a lottery. Sure, every time you buy a loot box, that's a chance to get that skin that you wanted just so badly. You've been waiting for it since day one. But there's a pretty good chance you're gonna get one of those sprays you've already gotten 3 times before. And let's face it, even if you did play the Overwatch loot box game to hopefully get those unique items for your favorite character, the extent to which you can customize them is painfully thin. TF2.
Yeah, you can just do it. Just pick a general skin or just like pick a general skin and also just probably just change weapon to gold, and gold is overrated, really overrated.
Who has years of hacks, weapons, skins, user-generated
Strangers,
models. If you want to play as a
strange
scout,
things.
wearing a Dovahkiin helmet, wielding a giant fish as
You can. The fish is not giant, and I think that the Dovahkiin helmet is locked only for heavy. I think. Only for heavy to use.
a weapon, you can. And that
No, you
is not
can't.
even anywhere near the craziest combination.
Yeah, because you just picked a hat. Everyone is picking horrible points in this debate.
Available in the game. From aesthetic changes to fully customizable loadouts, TF2 allows complete control over your character's play and feel without ever
That guy is not even from TF2. That guy is not even from TF2.
tipping into the realm of pay to
Who is
win.
that?
It would appear as though I am on fire.
Oh my gosh, you were right. I shouldn't have let you talk first because you chose to fixate on the one. And I mean one element where Overwatch loses out to
Not one, everything. Overwatch is good for individual Overwatch is good if you just have like a team that you constantly play with. TF2 is for people that are usually just like solitary but also works in a team. So TF2 appeals to both types of players while Overwatch appeals to only one type of player.
TF2 and
So wait, right now as I'm just sitting right close to a microphone. So yeah, is this good? Is this loudness good? So yeah. I think right now this is like the best loudness we will get.
and that is
So,
aesthetics. So a tip of the cap to you, Demo Man, for your great variety of virtual overpriced caps. But Overwatch wins where it
Overpriced yet. Overwatch is literally the most. How do you recover HP from sarcasm? This guy also said sarcastic things and he didn't recover HP.
truly matters, and that is gameplay.
Tell that to the loyal gamers who've been playing TF2 for
Yeah, and you have customizable gameplay. All the weapons are customizable for gameplay. You have literally so many options that if you count them, you will get like over 1,000 classes that are really close to each other and customizable so you can get your perfect way to play. While in Overwatch, you're like stuck to one hit. Everyone makes horrible points in that debate and I'm like in
the
a
past
quarter of the
9
debate.
years. The game has stood the test of time.
Stood, sure,
Yes,
but is now getting
stood.
replaced.
No,
TF2
it's
player
not
numbers have
getting
been on the
replaced.
decline since October of 2014.
Yeah, and literally at the moment of this debate, right before this debate happened, the numbers started skyrocketing and it's as high as it's ever been.
According to Steam Charts data, and numbers since
And that's also on Steam Charts, and Steam Charts doesn't say everything. Steam Charts just say everyone who is like depending on our amount of like players that are actively in game, you know.
Overwatch's release in May have reached an all-time low for the game. So it looks like all those loyal gamers might be
And right after May it picked up. You literally cropped the part out. Madpat, I love a lot of your videos, but why? But that's just incorrect.
jumping ship. And honestly, who can blame them? Overwatch is a true team-based shooter where teams need to be made of a diverse set of heroes.
Yeah, things need to be made. So, while you can get a bit of an edge in TF2 if you make a diverse set of heroes, but you can also pick your own thing. So once again, not only diversity counts. So basically right now, one player can ruin your entire team dynamic in Overwatch. So unless you play just with your friends or have really communicative teammates, which looking at the fan base is not really all that good, it's not really.
Heroes and actually work together to succeed in the game. The end goal is
Yeah, you need to. You can in TF2, but you don't have to.
always completing your objective, be it moving a vehicle across the map.
Yeah, depends. Like there are like maps like Badwater where everything will just everyone will just complete the objective, but there's also Hightower and like that Two-Fort. Sorry for forgetting. And literally on like Hightower and Two-Fort, people will just have fun and stuff like that. The game is not just for dopamine hits. So literally, just to play a game for dopamine hits, it's just literally the biggest part of the biggest like I'm compensating for something move.
Or defending a certain position. Team Fortress is also objective-based, but features things like kill-death ratios and reward
you have also kill death ratios. In Overwatch, you literally showed the screen, but just crop the part where the kill death ratio actually is.
For dominating the enemy,
Why?
stats and achievements that are directly
Why?
tied to killing the opponent repeatedly. This makes it much less appealing to play as, say, a healer or other support character.
You know, right next to it, you have literally Ubers, which are like exclusive things to medic, and hit points healed.
Since they're not as likely to get impressive numbers in those areas.
And nobody actually looks at this unless it's... And I think that these stats are only like in competitive, I think.
Likewise, it increases the likelihood that offensive players will go rogue, heading out onto the map solo to boost these things up for themselves. The developers of Overwatch have gone on record saying that
Well, you have kill death ratios, and in tf2 it's just competitive, and most of players play casual.
they actively avoided including stats like that in the game for exactly that reason, to make the team element the focus. In other words, in an ironic twist, Overwatch does Team Fortress better than Team
Where's the fortress?
Fortress.
Yeah, I would hope so, considering it's the same game nearly a decade later. Only with fewer maps, of course. tf2 has 100. How many does Overwatch have again?
12, but...
You can call me Torbjorn, because I'm just standing here, and I just got play the game.
Yeah, once again, balancing in Overwatch is literally just subjective.
12 maps, again in 2 months after release as opposed to 9 years, but it's quality over quantity.
You have a lot of quality in maps in tf2. Literally, only thing that I can think that is kind of quality is just that you can play basketball and you have like one karaoke map. But it wasn't released at that point yet.
Whereas you brag about having 100 maps, most of which are from the community, mind you, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, the fact that it's community driven is the most important thing.
But Overwatch's characters are just more mobile. They can roll.
What? Scout can double jump, can also use Bong to boost his speed and make himself invincible to have even more movement. Scout can use Atomizer to jump 3 times, also can take the wingman to jump way higher, like 150% higher, which you can double jump with wingman and then change it to like the atomizer and just have another jump which is like 4 times jump, and then also use force on nature to make yourself another jump by propelling yourself. It's like 5 jumps. And wait, you can also use like the soda popper instead of that, and you can just pop it to get yourself way more extra jumps.
They can fly, teleport.
Oh yeah, everyone has something, like literally you can run faster as a heavy with many items, even as a heavy. Also, if you're showing Symmetra, then Engineer also has a teleport. Engineer can also sentry jump, you can rocket jump as a soldier. You have so many movement options. Literally, Sniper is the only character that I would say that doesn't have too many movement options.
Use grappling hooks with a
Yeah, and also you have a mode where everyone has grappling hooks in TF2.
Apologies to Freddie Wong, there's no need for convoluted rocket jumping and over.
Rocket jumping isn't convoluted. You literally just aim at your feet, jump, and then click.
Overwatch. And the great thing is that this increased mobility means Overwatch's characters are much better equipped to use more of the levels, explore the...
Yeah, you know, the maps.
verticality of those levels, and try out different strategies that TF2's more limited characters just don't have open.
Yeah, TF2's characters have more options, that's the whole point. Because they're customizable, yet again, it's not just cosmetically customizable. Weapons do different things, like Atomizer, you pull it out slower, but it gives you an extra jump.
Into that.
For example.
You know what isn't open in Overwatch? Community servers. And that means that the community won't be as active within the game, which is a total bummer. Unlike in TF2, overhypers, excuse me, Overwatchers won't be creating their own unique modes, skins, hosting their own events on their own servers.
Yeah, they do have They actually do have a workshop right now, but you know, it got messed up in like Overwatch 2 yet again. Where you know, like my friend works for a workshop. Works like not for a workshop, but works in the workshop making stuff, and now it doesn't work.
They can't do any of that stuff, and we know just how much the community has done for TF2 over all these years. This game was
Yeah,
a
we
mean
know.
machine. You think you could beat that? Nope.
Again, it may be coming, and I wouldn't doubt the strength of the Overwatch community either, my friend. Cosplayers are out in force already.
Yeah, like also TF2 has cosplayers. Everyone has cosplayers. Like mostly, the closer to anime stuff you are, the more cosplayers there will be.
Blizzard is actively policing porn of these characters.
You literally use porn as an argument to win a debate. This is dumb on so many levels. Why?
That's been popping up online. Not that I would know from any sort of personal experience.
Oh yeah, Matt, don't worry about it. We're not gonna check your search history or anything like that.
I read about it. Swear.
By the way, most of that stuff, made in Source Filmmaker.
Yeah, it's not irrelevant that it's made in Source Filmmaker.
But don't let it distract me with titillating tidbits. Before we get away from the whole map issue, let's say you don't like a certain map. One of the
Yeah, you cannot exclude maps in Overwatch.
12 that there are. If that map comes up in matchmaking, you're stuck playing it. Outside of leaving it or convincing your whole team to try and exit with you, you're gonna have to play it twice in fact. Team Fortress 2, on the other hand, uses a server system on the PC.
Not only server system, you can just in normal matchmaking select maps that you want to play.
These servers are hosting specific maps and modes, or rotations of maps and modes, and players can join whichever ones that they want. That way, they can find any set of servers that they really enjoy, stick around for as long as they'd like, and move to a different server whenever they feel like doing something else. On top of that, TF2 just has more modes to pick from. That includes Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and a PvE Horde mode in Man vs. Machine. With this server
Yeah, actually over here is just... Team Deathmatch is also in Overwatch. And PvE will be in Overwatch too. Like, PvE aspect is the only thing I'm excited for in Overwatch 2 actually.
system, there's just more on offer for a more robust game. With customization, there are tons of different ways to play.
I get it, that's your big argument.
How is that deflected? You just like called it like let's say an argument. Well, murder is bad because both people right now are saying it's unethical and violates thing. Well, no, now judge. Well, now judge. I also called it, so now I'm not guilty. Yeah, that's the kind of logic we're going with.
But here's the thing. Though you can't customize loadouts just yet, Overwatch's emphasis on characters countering other characters means that it's gonna stay fun for a whole lot longer.
Yeah, also snipers, spies, they counter medic. Medic has an Uber that, if combined with a heavy demo man, or also soldier, yeah, then it gives you essentially ability to counter everyone. Engineer counters scouts and snipers. Snipers, yet again, like spy counters engineer. Scout counters spy, and engineers counters scout. And that's a lot of stuff.
Because the core mechanic of the game is getting good with multiple characters and switching when the situation demands it. Need to stop some turret fire? Well, just call in Winston. Want to get vertical for a while?
Stop turret fire and call Winston? No, Winston is anti-sniper. Dude.
Call in Pharah. And even within a particular class, there's a lot of variety. Just look at the differences between Mercy and Lucio. Both are healers, but do the job in different ways. If you want hardcore focused healing...
Yeah, once again, spy and sniper. And also, you can change up how you play spy. Like, you can place a spy that is specifically to counter engineers, one that is specific to counter snipers. Like ambassador snipers. You can also counter mini turret engineers by taking the tape recorder that takes longer to actually destroy a turret. So yeah, I don't see your point over here, buddy.
then you clearly go with Mercy. If you want less healing output, but you want to get as many people as quickly as possible, well, that's when you hit up Lucio. Are Overwatch's heroes a bit more rigid in their playstyles? Admittedly, yes, they are. But there are currently 22 characters in Overwatch, with more on the way compared to year 9. And the constant need to hop between them more than makes up for the fewer game modes and less flexible characters. And it's also important to note that none of them are a clone. We don't have any Links, young Links, and Toon Links here, ladies.
Neither of this is in Team Fortress 2. You have 9 unique characters. And also you can change a Demoman into, for example, a Demon Knight that instead of just focusing on area damage takes out singular enemies within a melee battle. You can take a Demopan that drops from the sky, like also Trollger. Trollger jumps for the sky and damages people, but Demopan also like shoots from the sky and hits people with a pan to destroy them. Literally, you have so much playstyles that even one character is not a clone of itself.
Ladies and gentlemen, each and every character feels unique. You want to play as a female Russian bodybuilder? Well, guess what? You can. You want to play as a Japanese cyborg ninja? Well, guess what? You can. Plus, in a time when gamers are more accepting than ever to play different characters,
Yeah, you will touch on diversity. Yeah, or you will try to make a joke by calling Anna a grandma.
Overwatch embraces diversity. While the characters in TF2 may be from all across the world, outside of the Demo Man and maybe the Pyro, they're all white male.
Bro. Have you ever read actual comics in the lore? You know, like the two, like essentially a merc that could solo every other merc. You know, Miss Pauling. She's too strong to even be in the game. Yeah. Also, Team Fortress members from the last game also are in the lore. You know, Administrator, aka the person whose you know, like voice we hear all the time, is also a woman. You know, and she's really powerful. She's close to being immortal, essentially. Like, we have so many diverse characters in the lore, like... You know, Demoman is pretty important because Monoculus, you know, the giant floating eye that you probably don't even know about, is actually his eye that he lost.
Overwatch, though, literally has a grandmother who snipes...
That's both things that I said. I already knew a bunch of things about the debate, that there will be horrible points in this. But seriously, I don't remember thinking about it that it would be that bad.
Medicine into your body. That is equal opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. And lastly,
Crusader's crossbow.
Let's face it, but ult moves are a ton of fun.
Sure.
No, they ruin the balance and they just make people angry because someone decided to solo the entire team by just pressing Q.
But as fun as it may be to wreck shop with Reaper's Death Blossom, there's always going to be a Widowmaker with Infrasight or someone else ready to counter it. More characters, more abilities means more opportunities to mess up the balance.
Yeah, as I said, tf2 is more customizable, and seriously, I wouldn't say that. I would say that ults are more annoying than anything because, you know, they can just kill the entire because most of the ults just work like, okay, here, you kill the entire team. And that's the whole ultimate, how it works.
And you see it already with tiering lists in competitive play. Tanks are just too OP right now. Reinhardt, Zarya, Diva, Roadhog, all 4 of these tanks, all 4...
Yeah, instead of like fixing the issue, they just made one tank. And also depleted the barriers to nerf Reinhardt and stuff like that, and also lowered his health. And now Reinhardt will be suboptimal. And also Brigitte was pretty cool, but you know, she also got nerfed to the ground. So yeah, I agree that it will be, that, you know, yeah, actually, that's a good take, but you know, not everything is also balanced in TF2. You have like 3 weapons that are good. You have like 5 meta loadouts, for each character or so, and that's pretty much how it works.
Are dominating the top 2 tiers in competitive play. I mean, how often have you started a game, gone up against the opposing team, and seen that they have 3 Roadhogs?
It's literally impossible for it to be 3 Roadhogs unless you're playing the like special team, like team casual that doesn't have like limit to amount of roles you can pick. And even before, I think that you could not pick more than one of the same hero at once.
What else do you do other than sigh, groan, and face roll the keyboard? It's not fun.
You shouldn't face roll the keyboard. You should probably just pick a counter, but you know, it's mostly just because Overwatch is not really a good game.
TF2's modest roster of 9 might not be hundreds deep like other popular franchises such as League of Legends, but it's a finely honed stable of characters which offer a fair, consistent gameplay experience.
You say TF2 is more balanced, and yet Overwatch's smaller team size per match allows for more strategically constructed teams.
Yeah, but that makes it so that you're pretty much just you have everything messed up if one character is off to a specific combination, you know. While in TF2 the team can divide into smaller teams, and each smaller team can do their own thing. Unless your team is just entirely spies or snipers, then your team is probably gonna be good.
Compared to the massive battles of TF2. With too many players on the field, it just becomes bedlam. But with Overwatch's team sitting at 6v6, it makes each player's character choice matter. And speaking of skill, the need to master not just one character, but multiple characters in order to be successful in this game means that it has a higher potential skill ceiling for the hardest of hardcore players.
Yeah, Overwatch is too competitive. Team Fortress is like works for everyone, while Overwatch is competitive. That's how it works.
And let's not forget as well, Overwatch simply looks and runs better. Team Fortress is a decade old, which makes it...
You know, TF2, even though TF2 is in a weak source system, I think that they should upgrade TF2 into Source 2. I think that they should do that. But you know, it has way better limitations, you know, like when I play TF2, it just like kinda lags at the start of every turn, and then it runs smoothly for 90% of the game, while in Overwatch, with my horrible RAM, you know, literally, until like half of the game, the players' models are not even loaded yet, and I just see like a glowing orb and occasionally like effects of projectiles until like I hit like 10 minutes or so of gameplay on one server.
really hard to compete.
You say old, I say tried and true. Team Fortress 2 was built on Valve's Source engine, reliable and flexible, and its cartoonish graphical style has ensured that its look has aged very well.
Source 2 is
when
better.
compared to things like BioShock 1's Andrew Ryan and Uncharted 1's Nathan Drake, both games that were released the same year as Team Fortress 2.
Same year, huh? Whew. Feeling old.
And you're about to feel like a loser. Closing arguments. Team Fortress 2 may be a team-based shooter, but the individual players on the team have always been of the utmost importance, meaning that they can
Finally,
customize
a
their
good
appearance,
take.
they can customize their loadout.
Once again, he showed like a beta thing, and also he showed another image that is not from TF2.
They can customize
Again,
their
the same
gameplay. In Overwatch, if you're grouped up with a team who doesn't know what they're doing or who refuse to communicate, you may in fact lose through no fault of your own. Overwatch takes power away from the skilled players who in games like TF2 could rightfully carry a match. And that's just not fun. Considering all that in mind, most of all, vote for the original. The art style, the team-based gameplay design, the characters like Torbjorn and Tracer, who are very similar to the Engineer and the Scout, using comics and animated shorts to deliver
Kind
character
of, but you know, Tracer attacks like really fast, while Scout delivers like spreaded single blows, you know, usually. The like Scout and Tracer are different. Only thing that is close, they are close at is that they're fast, but Tracer, you know, speeds up, throws bombs and stuff like that, while Scout just focuses, or while Tracer focuses on just confirming kills. Scout focuses on fast captures. So there are two different characters in my opinion. If you want to compare someone to Scout, the Genji would be a better pick because, you know, Bong Atomic Punch would be like his deflect, pretty much. He doesn't really have a dash, but you know, once again, spread attack that works. Also has like a single pretty fast attack that is precise, and one like slower spread attack. And also, wait, what was I supposed to say, Andy? Yeah, also double jump.
And lore in a very similar fashion to which TF2 used comics and their Meet the Team series years before. In so many ways, Team Fortress 2 stood on its own 9 years ago and it stands on its own today, while Overwatch seems to have borrowed quite a bit from the successes of its...
Yeah, right now everything, like even Paladins are called a copy of Overwatch, even though Paladins came before Overwatch. I think like Paladins just got inspired by TF2 and just like, and then Overwatch basically copied Paladins. At least that's what I think.
predecessors. Oh, and also, TF2 is free.
Right.
Sure, Overwatch may have borrowed from TF2, but it's not like it's hiding that fact. Overwatch is a love letter to all of gaming. Soldier 76 is straight out of Call of Duty. Diva is Titanfall. Pharah is Metroid. To me, these sorts of references...
No, Soldier is more like Master Chief than the Call of Duty guy.
just make the game more fun. And now couple that humor with mechanics that actually reward you for smart team-based combat, matches where you must consistently jump across multiple characters and classes, and fixed teams where you're not going to be thrown onto the enemy side if someone suddenly decides to leave, and you have yourself a game that's accessible enough for beginners, but sophisticated enough to be competitive on the esports level.
Yeah, competitiveness is the worst thing in the game. If a game is competitive, then the game is usually bad. I mean, the competitiveness just sucks the life out of a game, you know. Like for example, I play StarCraft a lot, you know, and I find myself really enjoying the co-op of StarCraft, but really competitiveness just like causes frustration, and you know, gaming is supposed to be a thing to relax. So yeah.
Plus, there's no ammo boxes, which to me is always a big
You thought about strategy, you know, like resourcefulness is a thing, you know. Resourcefulness is a thing, and also, you know, ammo boxes will stop characters from just spawn camping the bases.
And best of all, the game is literally only 2 months old, meaning that it's only going to continue to refine itself and improve as the roster...
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Look Overwatch 2. It didn't.
expands, play modes broaden, and maps begin to roll out. The biggest advantage Team Fortress had in this debate was the extra time that it's had to grow and evolve. But there's little doubt that it's now time for that...
No, community was the thing about Team Fortress. They're active in the game, while Overwatch's community is active on the hub, you know.
Torch to be passed. Overwatch is quite frankly the tf2 of the next generation of gaming, the very beginning of something incredibly special.
Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, we have reached deadlock. Now the decision is in your hand.
tf2. I need to process this. I'm going to react to another like video that Matt had made, probably on Food Fury, because Food Fury I think he's the best channel that he has, you know. Food Fury is the channel where I have the least issues with, you know. I just look at the Food Fury videos, and when I look at the Food Fury videos, most of them are actually correct, you know. Like, there are only a few videos where I didn't agree. Like, for example, the soda sizes. Like, instead of just being purely speculative, most of the food theory is objective. It's not really a theory, it's more of a fact usually. But you know, because they actually test it, and you know, only thing that I didn't really like was the one where they compared soda sizes across like fast foods, and you know, they didn't realize that, you know, like there usually is like a store near fast foods where you can get like soda for tenth of the price. You before said that usually soda is sold about at about thousandth of a price, and they add ice also. So you know, you can just buy like cold cola from the store that is like usually um like 2 minutes of walking away.
Which game deserves play of the game? Overwatch, the new kid on the block, or Team Fortress 2, the granddaddy of the genre?
Granddaddy of the genre. Yeah, that's the end of the video if I didn't pull the cards already.